promise we will be out of here at 1 o'clock. I'm going to blaze through this pretty quick. I want to point out that this is on a website, and you can go view it, or you can tell those of your neighbors and friends for less than a 10-minute video. This is all online, and it goes through in a lot more detail than I'll be able to go through today. A couple of 3 points that I want to leave you with. Number one, the failed election in February is where this all came from. We expanded the group. We added about another 15 to 20 members to the facilities committee. And basically, we went back to the community at large, got a survey response of over 1,000 people. And what's in here now is what people said, yes, we want that, and we want that now. And so what will happen is sometime in the future, we will come back with a second proposal that will talk about how to restructure secondary schools. That's going to be a big focus for us in a future bond election. Has nothing to do with this one, just like every other bond issue we've ever voted on in Bartlesville. Each one has to stand or fall on their own. So this has no tie, and no way ties anybody's hands to do anything down the road. What you'll see here is that last time, about 1/3 of the total proposal was for operations and maintenance type of issues. This time, 3/4 of the proposal is for those type of issues. Basically, what we're doing here is moving kids out of portable classrooms at Kane Elementary, and then everything else is on the operations and maintenance side of our budget. You can go through and see these, and for example, I'll just use one of these, curriculum, the first one on the top. The state gives us about $55 a year per kid for textbooks. That doesn't begin to cover what the cost of a textbook is. So we have to supplement that with bond funds. We've done that for decades. I would venture to say, I can't imagine a school district that doesn't supplement their textbook allowance from the state. So this is the way we've done business for more than 25 years in Bartlesville. Basically, this is an extension of the way we've done things for decades. This gives you a breakdown. You'll see a big part of this is in the bottom. That's going to be pushing 60% of this. It's going to go to maintenance and technology. The technology is not for new equipment. This is to replace the computers we already have, and it's replacing them once every 7 years. That's the average life that we're pushing our technology toward. The rest of it's for software, and you can see on around the circle there the different pieces of what's in this bond issue. Why are these essentials? That's one of the things you'll see about this. We continue to refer to them as essentials. This is our state funding decline over here on the far right. It doesn't show this year's yet. We did just get our first allotment for this year, and it did go down again. So that's the budget reality we're in from the state. And the couple of 2 or 3 things that I want to leave you with. Number one, we are spending the money that we have at Bartlesville Public Schools in the place we think it makes the most impact, and that's to maintain our teacher-student ratio. We have the lowest one in the peer group, and we think that's a major reason why we also have the highest academic performance. There's some budgetary restrictions that you can't go out and pay for salaries except out of the general fund. And so if we have to push these things back into the general fund, there is an impact of taking away money that we currently spend on teachers. And you can see the impact there at the bottom of that slide. Then the other piece that is something that we commonly hear is that, well, we've got too much money in administration. Well, the reality is that while we have the highest student-teacher, or the lowest student-teacher ratio, we have the highest teacher-administrator ratio. The state just published in April, they published their percent of the budget that goes to administrative purposes, and we were in the 96th percentile. We were, I believe, 508 out of 527 school districts in the state in the lowest percent of our budget that goes to administrative costs. So the takeaways, there is no tax increase associated with this. It is directly in line with what the voter feedback we got. It does not impact the 6 through 12 configuration at all. That's going to be the subject of a follow-up bond issue that will be called once we've had a lot more consensus built, a lot more feedback from the community on what that needs to look like. So this doesn't do anything to change the configuration of 6 through 12. It's focused on essentials, and 3/4 of it is for the operations and maintenance that is directly going to allow us to help preserve our class size where it is now. That, again, if you go to this website, and there's a less than 10-minute video that will walk you through this and provide some more detail. If there are questions anybody has, I'm happy to answer them, but I think I'm close to staying with